It's become a perennial problem for residents who live very close to the Weija Dam. So areas like Ashbred, Weija, New Weija and Old Weija and its adjoining communities always face the wrath of the Russian water that is spilled over by the managers of the Weija Dam, that is the Ghana Water Company Limited. And this is done almost every time there is the need for it to be done. And the Ghana Water Company Limited has said that if it doesn't go ahead with this exercise, its dam would collapse, which will incur dire consequences on residents and also on its customers or consumers. So it is always important for them to go about this exercise. Last year, when the exercise was carried out, a lot of residents living in this enclave were affected, and its consequences led to the fact that some of them had their properties washed away, some of them losing them in the process, and also lives being threatened as residents had to evacuate their homes to seek refuge or shelter at other areas until the water receded. This year, the Ghana Water Company Limited has announced another spillage exercise, which is supposed to be carried out anytime from Friday, that is the 28th of April 2023. And the Ghana Water Company Limited has said that they need to do this, and they have cautioned residents who live very close to this facility to evacuate the place or to seek shelter at other places. So just behind me is River Dinsu, and this moves through some communities like Weija, Tetegu and its adjoining communities. And this is more like the downstream of the Weija Dam. And so anytime there is the spillage of an excess water, you know clearly that it would move right into the River Dinsu, and this would in effect affect the communities that are very close to this particular river, that is River Dinsu. So here at Ashbred is an LPG station here. So for the community members, it is easier and very convenient for them to come and fill their cylinders for use domestically and also for some commercial purposes. But the last time I came to report here when the flooding situation had occurred, I remember that this whole enclave had been covered with the flood waters. I just want to find out what happened to these workers here, especially having this particular facility situated here.
At that time, we haven't started working, so our machine and pump we are using to work, all of them got spoiled. So we have to go for another ones. Yeah, so that time the water level reached the middle of the dispenser. Wow. Yeah. Wow. So those who stay around here too, some of their things belonging to them get destroyed.
What else do you think can be done so that your work will not be affected as much as it's going to happen?
As for me, I think that they don't have to wait the water level to be reached that level before they say they will open it. Maybe 1 month or 2 months later, they should open it small, so that before the rainy season comes, you know what to do.
When they spilled the dam, most of our machine got affected, and then we had to lay most of our workers off. But I think 3 days ago, we just had information that they will open it again. And the information being given was that they will open it when it gets to 46.5. For me, I'm thinking if it gets to 43, they should be able to open it so that it prevents it from going into people's rooms and spoiling a lot of things. That's my whole idea about it. And we are also planning to move most of our machines to another branch so that we don't get affected like last year. We had to lay because most of the machines were not working, and then so about more than a month we were not working, so we had to let them. We have some people who are on our payroll, so those who are not on the payroll, we just have to lay them off so that when we get our things back together, then we can call them back.
So one major concern that has been raised by some of the residents who live very close to the Weija Dam is the fact that the dumping of refuse very close to the River Densu is affecting or is impacting the waterway. So the Densu River is not able to flow as is expected to flow because the rubbish or the silt has covered portions of the waterway. And I think it's obvious. From where I stand, you can see that the water channel has been hampered a little, and that's because you see heaped rubbish dumped here. And this, we understand, has been done over the years. And so now it is difficult for the water to maneuver its way all through its channel.
The directive that have been given to them through the environmental department is that the place should be capped. I don't know whether you've visited the area. You can see that it's being capped, and then we're making sure that it doesn't really affect the water course. We have some areas that are also heavily silted, which last year we sent some proposals to Hydro for them to come to our aid so that we can desilt the course of the downstream of the Densu, so that at least we can have a very good depth, so that water wouldn't have to move into the communities.
So the news team has been interacting with the municipal chief executive for the Weija Dam Municipal Assembly to find out what plans have been put in place to ameliorate the consequences or impact of this particular spillage on its residents.
The information we had from Ghana Water was that, the normal operation level was 48 feet. That is where they had to spill. But this time they're bringing it down to 47 so that we can have some allowance to spill so that we don't have excess water coming into the community. And then, of course, the assembly will also have to take some steps, i.e. the two estuaries that we have, that is the Weija Dam section and then the Chukume area, how we will be able to monitor as to the levels or the volumes that are being spilled before we can quickly move in there to open if there need be. But as I speak to you, they have only two gates that are being spilled at, that's the gate 2 at 6 inches, and then the gate 4 also at 6 inches, which is at the normal rate of spillage.